Hey guys, a little over 2 years ago, I made a video titled, Are Foam Cannons Worth It or Just a Trend? You can see it right there. Got a lot of views and a lot of questions, and I wanted to update you guys what my opinion is about this subject in more detail 2.5 years later. So that being said, let's go ahead and get right into it. And guys, if you will smash that YouTube like button to boost this video in the YouTube algorithm, thank you so much. So I'm going to walk you guys through a lot of different scenarios of when I use foam cannons and when I don't. And in this scenario, it is a horribly muddy truck that you guys have seen before, and it gets a ceramic coating by the end of it. So we are going to look at the foam cannon and also the finished result, of course, which is the ceramic coating. But just to recap a bit, that video 2.5 years ago got a lot of views because I basically made the argument when you're a professional detailer working in the hot sun all day and you're working on minivans, Honda Accords, Toyota RAV4s, average cars, mom hauler, kid hauler cars that get beat up all the time, is a foam cannon really worth it? Are you really introducing that many more scratches, that many more swirls to justify the time that it's going to take to use a foam cannon and potentially make more work for yourself dealing with things like water spots if you don't have things like deionized water? Is it worth it in your detailing business? Here, I want to recap a little bit or just update you guys. When I am dealing these days with mostly things like ceramic coatings, huge Super Duty trucks, like things that are much, much higher end, I pull out my foam cannon more than I don't pull out my foam cannon. It's taken me a while to get here in my business, but here I am. So I just want to walk through a few of those details. Before I'm even using the foam cannon in this particular video, I'm actually pressure washing all of that mud off of the truck and using Optimum Power Clean to pull off some of that dirt even more so than a foam cannon would. Reason being is because this truck was absolutely disgusting. So the answer is yes. When I am dealing with a higher end truck, a client who's paying top dollar, who wants a ceramic coating on that black paint, yes, I am pulling out my foam cannon undoubtedly, but there's a few reasons for that. Number one, I'm putting a ceramic coating on this truck, and with the off chance that I really am going to introduce a large amount of new swirls and new scratches by not pre-rinsing with a foam cannon, it's just risk management. Again, I think you could make probably a pretty good argument that one time not using a foam cannon is not going to really introduce that many more imperfections before you put the ceramic coating on, but because I have to do so much preparation with a ceramic coating anyways, there's no point in even taking the chance of creating more work for myself. The second reason is simply because, as you guys can see, I'm doing an agitation wash here, and while I used the foam cannon and did a pre-rinse before what you're seeing here, this actually is a great way for me to spread soap on these top parts of the truck that I would otherwise have a very, very difficult time trying to reach. The cold hard truth is, on a truck that's this lifted, it's just difficult to reach those areas, but because I have to be so detailed with something like this, because it's getting ready to receive a ceramic coating, I need something that's going to reach those spaces for me. So I'm not necessarily making an argument that the foam cannon, in the sense of actually encapsulating the dirt, pulling the dirt off before you do the agitation wash, I'm not necessarily making an argument that it is incredibly necessary in this situation, but it is incredibly helpful in spreading the soap. So while yes, I did do a pre-wash, pre-foam sort of thing here, once again, I'm doing it mostly because this is one of my favorite uses for a foam cannon. It cuts down on my time because I'm not having to spread a bunch of soap really in a cumbersome way, in an inconvenient way on those top panels, on those top areas. The foam reaches those areas for me. But truth be told, not only does it reach the areas for me, it spreads it unbelievably. Like, it spreads it in a way that I would never be able to without the foam cannon. So that being said, the other big thing that you're going to see here is not only the unbelievable finished result here that you're seeing, but with this black truck that got a ceramic coating and then the next black truck that you're going to see in just a second that did not get a ceramic coating, it was just a basic wash, but it was extremely muddy. The foam cannon allows me to get the soap and the suds and the foam into areas and a spread on areas that I would never otherwise be able to. So not only does it allow me to reach those top areas, but it's also going to let me address the wheels, wheel wells, tires, undercarriage, suspensions, all those things that are very difficult to get into in a way that I would never otherwise be able to do. Once again, the spread is unbelievable. And because it's able to spread it and throw that soap in a certain way, I'm able to reach those areas without necessarily investing in other tools. Like, for example, could I be using an undercarriage, what is it called? An undercarriage washer, pressure washer sprayer. It kind of is that sort of thing that has 4 nozzles on it. You roll it underneath and it really, chops up a bunch of the mud, dirt, all that sort of stuff that sits underneath things like this muddy truck. But the foam cannon allows me to kind of circumvent needing that, at least in the moment, just because I don't see trucks like this that often, so it's not really that necessary. And the foam cannon is just a simple tool that allows me to spread it in those areas. While yes, it takes a little bit more time to get in those areas, I would never otherwise, again, be able to do that. The other big thing here is that because both of these trucks are black, again, I do wonder about how much micro scratching or micro abrading is minimized by using a pre-rinse method with a foam cannon. Yes, admittedly, I wonder about that. I think it's difficult to test that. I think it's hard to quantify exactly how much that would be, what percentage of micro scratching is not occurring because of the pre-wash, pre-foam method. But nonetheless, yes, I've washed enough cars and I've detailed enough dark colored cars to know how easy they are to scratch. And that being said, while yes, I am sometimes hard on the 2-bucket method, yes, I am sometimes skeptical of the foam cannon, I will say absolutely, because of the nature of clear coat, because of the nature of dark colored paints, I do notice a difference over time, particularly in these sort of situations with the condition or specifically the imperfections that accrue over time in the paint when you don't use something or a variation of the 2-bucket method or a variation of something like a pre-foaming, pre-rinsing, pre-washing method. This is particularly apparent with dark colored cars. So no, I am not against foam cannons. No, I am not against pre-washing methods. I like foam cannons. But once again, the argument that was being made in that video was how much or what percentage of that micro abrading is actually being avoided. And if you're dealing with some mom hauler, minivan, everyday driver where the customer is not concerned about it, does it really make sense when you're trying to maintain profitability in an auto detailing business to take a lot of extra time? That was the question being asked. In this scenario, this is a Honda Pilot that's a 2019 absolutely unbelievable condition. You guys are going to see the after result of this wash, but you can see with this foam cannon use here, I am actually going ahead and just addressing the bugs in the pre-wash step. This is another reason why I love the foam cannon. Not only is it going to allow me, yes, to keep this new paint in totally new condition, and yes, with new paint like this, I do think it does, what would I say, reduce the micro abrasions, reduce the micro scratching. You can see I'm going in for the agitation wash now, but yes, I will absolutely say that once again, because of the nature of clear coat, in a situation like this with a totally new car, it's not necessarily a mom hauler, kid hauler, disgusting van. This is a new car. The paint looks incredible. I want to take precautions to make sure that it stays that way. And I also get to knock out the bug detailing in the same step. Again, making me faster. Just another reason why I like it. In this situation, I'm adding some degreaser to this foam cannon because, as you guys are going to see, I am detailing the engine. This is yet another place where I love foam cannons because not only do I get an unbelievable spread and I can cover every part of the engine bay, and you know if you've detailed engines, if you miss any part of it and that water dries after the engine dries, you will see the surface dirt against the black materials on that underside of the engine very, very, very easily. Not to mention, I've mixed not only some of my silica-infused soap with traditional car soap that kind of is comparable to a more aggressive car soap, I would say, but I'm also able to put some super clean degreaser in there, so I call it supercharging my car soap. I love doing this with engine detailing. It just makes so much sense to use a foam cannon this way because not only does it spread incredibly, not only do I have an amazing solution that's going to break down dirt, but it makes agitation so easy because that foam genuinely does work incredibly on the engine grease, engine dirt. And if you've ever used it, you know what I'm talking about. Now, I'm just blowing the engine dry. I want you guys to be able to see the after result here. It's got an incredible, just matte black finish. But this, guys, again, is another reason I love the foam cannon. It's undoubtedly a great place to use it. So just to refer back once again, I think more than anything, the argument being made here is I love foam cannons. I use them actually more now than ever because I deal so much with ceramics and it becomes very necessary. And here with this Audi, this is a 2-year ceramic coating that I'm maintaining in this video. Undoubtedly, it's necessary to use a foam cannon with a ceramic coating to maintain it at every level. But once again, the question from the video 2.5 years ago is, does the foam cannon reduce micro abrading on a car that is already riddled with imperfections enough to justify the profitability? I'd love to hear your comments below. What do you think about the answer to that question? Yes or no? Guys, if you want to check out any of the tools, products used in this video, I'm going to hook up several foam cannons, I suggest. I'm going to hook up the pressure washer and also several foam cannon soaps, and of course the degreaser I used as well. Not every foam cannon soap does what it says it will do. I can tell you that right now. Sometimes there is a lot of false advertising when it comes to them, and you get really disappointed with the suds. Smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm if you will. And if you're new here, subscribe to the Wilson Auto Detailing channel. Thank you guys for being involved. Keep working hard, and I will see you guys in the next video.